Okay, good morning everybody for the briefing on Saturday the 14th. So looking at the synoptic, you can see that it's very unlikely we're going to be flying, certainly for the morning, with both these cold fronts very close together and sat over the top of us, and those isobars very tightly packed, which is what's bringing us all this weather at the moment. But looking ahead, sort of to midnight tonight, those fronts have cleared well to the east. So after midday, should have actually cleared us. So very small chance there might actually be a window this afternoon. Looking ahead to tomorrow, looks a bit more settled. Isobars a little bit further apart, so wind should be a tiny bit more manageable, and hopefully no frontal activity over the top of us. And Monday, even more settled, but it's getting quite cold next week. We got a weather warning for today, one for gale force winds up to midday, suggesting gusts up to 35 to 43 knots may occur. And from midday till 6 p.m, a strong wind warning, suggesting 15 to 20 knots at times, gusts to 25 to 30 knots, which is roughly our limit. Spot winds today, actually at flying heights, this will be a little bit further on today, but actually not that strong. So we're looking at about pretty much westerly at about 30 to 35 knots at flying height, which is manageable. Satpic is very cloudy. You can't really make out the fronts on there, just looks fairly cloudy everywhere. And that's the rain radar, fairly wet at the moment, although clearing to the east. If we have a look, there's nothing actually being picked up to the west, so this could be the main band of it just going through now. Public forecast is suggesting heavy rain up until about 11 and then clearing through about midday, and just cooling off as that happens. But the winds, certainly this morning being the main issue, we've currently got 24 gusting 38 knots, but it's suggesting from about 2 o'clock that it's reducing to about 15 knots, gusting 26. And the humidity slightly reducing as well. Top temperature today of about 8 or 9 degrees, and a dew point of about, I think that's a 5 there, so possibly a reasonable temperature dew point split. Although that's the current view outside, very gloomy, quite low visibility. Obviously it's very windy and very wet as well. The current temperature at Lasham is quite mild at 10.5 degrees and a dew point of 8.6, but the Lasham weather station is picking up 17 knots from the south, which I don't think the direction is great on this, but gusting 30 knots. Okay, looking at the Farnborough METAR, they're currently observing 20 knots from the southwest, gusting to 30, and their forecast for today is 18 knots from the southwest, gusting 28 knots. Cloud base not being a massive issue, and the wind slightly reducing later on. If we do go flying, there's no NOTAMs to affect as usual. We've got number 6 down there, which is just Southampton's operating hours, and number 1 just to the west there. Neither of those affect us. So operationally today, certainly not going to be flying this morning. There is a small chance there'll be a window this afternoon from about 2 o'clock, although looking at the booking list, I see not many people are booked in. So I suggest if you would be travelling here, give us a call about midday, give the office a call, and see what we think of the weather then. There's a chance we might go flying, but unlikely. But hopefully I'll see you all on the airfield. Before I go, I just mentioned that if there's anyone from Imperial watching, we've left a big gap in the hangar for you if you want to rig your ROB, as you probably don't want to be rigging it outside today, it's probably too windy. Other than that, I'll see you all on the airfield very soon. Bye for now.